We're here today to recognize and acknowledge some incredible individuals. This month is National Caregiver Appreciation Month, and we're here to recognize the workers of UDW, our in-home supportive service workers, for the incredible work that they do, and the incredible way that they lift up and value our society and help individuals who need a little help and assistance getting around. You know, so many families in San Diego County, so many, have a parent, a grandparent, a spouse, or they know someone who has reached a point in their life where in-home supportive care is the best option for them. And so we're really here today to recognize and honor those individuals who go into someone's home to take care of them. The heroic work they do to keep them healthy, to keep them strong, to keep them in their own home. And they are proud members of UDW, and they're here today as we honor them. And so we say thank you to all the workers for everything that you do for our community. I look forward to seeing some of you tomorrow at our Board of Supervisors meeting to honor you officially there. But you know, we wanted to come together today and just talk about how important this is. And I'm so grateful for Mayor Todd, Gloria being with us here today. A special thank you to Doug Moore, the fearless leader of UDW, for everything, Doug, that you do to advocate on behalf of your members. In-home supportive services caregivers, thank you, Doug. And the mayor, in-home supportive services caregivers have played a critical role always, but in particular throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. These selfless and compassionate individuals were often the front lines of defense for some of the most vulnerable members of our community. And day in and day out, they were willing to help individuals who needed help the most. While everyone else tended to stay away, they leaned in. They bravely went into homes to provide care, and without them, grandmothers and those with disabilities, grandfathers, seniors, they wouldn't have been able to receive physical therapy, their regular schedule of medicine, their COVID-19 tests, or their vaccinations. IHSS caregivers are healthcare warriors, and we need more of them. At the county, we're taking steps to increase the availability. In March, our county committed to recruiting more IHSS caregivers to ensure our seniors and others are able to receive the high quality care that the individuals standing behind us represent, the folks who provide. And if you or a family member are blind, disabled, low income, 65 years or older, or need assistance, please reach out to the call center at 1-800-339-4661 to sign up for help and get assessed. Again, that number is 1-800-339-4461. And just a final point on this, you know, when we think about as we have an aging society, and whether we call it the blue wave or the gray wave or the silver tsunami or whatever term, the reality is we got to find a way to make sure we're taking care of folks as they age. There's a line that says the way a society takes care of its elders says a lot about who they are as a people. And our investment in our in-home supportive services caregivers, our investment in them says a lot about how much we care about our elders and our seniors. And so we have to continue to do more to support the workers who are here, to invest in them more, and let's keep folks in their own homes. There are tremendous healthcare cost savings by keeping folks active, healthy, strong, and in their own home, but that's only possible due to the incredible work of those you see behind us. So again, thank you everyone for what you do. We recognize the day, the awareness month, and what's happening, but I hope you all can recognize the commitment we have to you all moving forward. And with that, I would like to introduce Doug Moore, Executive Director of United Domestic Workers and a great advocate for his workers and his members. And Doug, we welcome you here at the county, and thank you for all you're doing. Doug?
Good morning. Thank you, Supervisor Fletcher. I'm Doug Moore, the Executive Director of UDW, the United Domestic Workers of America, and we represent 148,000 IHSS providers in California and over 27,000 here in San Diego. On behalf of our members, I'd like to thank Supervisor Fletcher, Mayor Todd, Gloria, and all the other elected leaders and staff for taking time to honor caregivers. And also a big thank you to the ones behind me, the UDW members and staff over here who are here today. And we really thank you for supporting us. Caregiving is difficult, demanding work. Our members care for low-income seniors and people with disabilities, providing the kind of personal care services that allow people to live in comfort and dignity in their own homes. That means performing personal care tasks in the most intimate settings. During the pandemic, it meant risking your own safety to keep your client safe. Because of IHSS providers, thousands of people in our county are able to avoid expensive and unnecessary institutional care. Keeping people in their homes make for stronger families and stronger communities. That's what we are honoring when we honor caregivers during Caregiver Appreciation Month. But even though caregivers help our communities stay strong and healthy, they're rewarded with low pay and meager access to benefits. Being a caregiver right now means living from paycheck to paycheck and not being able to save for the future. It means worrying about which bills are going to get paid and which bills will not get paid. What does it say about our values as a society if we pay caregivers so little for the work that is so important? Caregiver pay is one of the leading issues in terms of having enough providers to provide the care that we need. The California State Auditor released a report earlier this year showing that over 30 million IHSS hours are going unmet every year. 30 million unmet hours, and that number is rising. In San Diego County alone, 1.5 million IHSS hours are going unmet. With the senior population rising and set to almost double by 2030, we need to ask ourselves, who is going to care for everyone who needs it? And the bottom line is this: we need to make IHSS a better job so more people will want to do it. This Caregiver Appreciation Month, let's do more than just say thank you with words alone. Let's show our appreciation for the critically important workforce by making caregiving a stable profession. Let's commit to raising pay and increasing funding to support programs like IHSS that protect our families and communities. Together, we can meet our county's current and future long-term care needs. Thank you. Now, it is my distinct honor to introduce the Mayor of San Diego and supporter of UDW even before he was elected to public office, Mayor Todd Gloria.
Thank you so much, Doug. Good morning, everyone. You know, a wise person would not go to speak after Doug Moore and Nathan Fletcher, but yet here I am. And I'm going to do it because I care so passionately about these incredible workers, IHSS workers, our UDW members, and caregivers in general. You know, this is work that often is overlooked. It happens quietly, but the work that they do is so incredibly powerful in providing people dignity, providing people an opportunity to stay in their own home, and an opportunity to live with some grace that wouldn't be there absent the caregiver. And that's why we have to have this Caregivers Awareness Month, because that work is often unheralded. It happens in private. For some reason, we have a concern or two about sharing with folks. You know, it's often, you don't want to admit that you're doing this work, but this is important work, and so we have to talk about it. I was standing here and reflecting on the fact, Doug's very kind, I've long been a proud supporter of UDW. I've stood on these steps a lot of times on behalf of UDW. But it's rare that I've done it with a sitting county supervisor, let alone the chair of the county board, actually saying the things that we believe and doing things like helping invite people to participate in the program and acknowledging that we have to compensate this work fairly, that we have to provide the kind of benefits that will allow people to be able to provide for themselves. That's the kind of change that's happening under the leadership of Chairman Nathan Fletcher. And Nathan, thank you so much for all the hard work that you're doing on all fronts, but in particular the front for caregivers. And to UDW, started as a humble union right here in San Diego and has now grown to literally a national powerhouse. I'm really grateful to have Doug Moore. You know, Doug could almost live anywhere, but he stays here in San Diego and we're a better community for it. And because of his organizing skills and UDW being here, we're able to be at the forefront of really advocating for caregivers. And again, it's really important because, again, this work is too often overlooked. Last, certainly not least, are the caregivers who are here. You know, as mayor of this city, my responsibility is to get up every day and try and work hard to make the city a better place. That's what caregivers do too. What they're doing entirely, whether it's providing care directly for a family member or if they're doing it for someone who is a client, either way, what you are doing is contributing to making the city a better place. And so this month and really every month, we should pause and say thank you to our caregivers. And Nathan said it exactly right. You know, right now, this is more important than ever. You can't do caregiving over Zoom, right? There was no social distancing when someone needed help getting to the restroom or getting showered. That isn't possible. These folks are true heroes. They go unsung, and so we have to lift them up. And lastly, I'd reiterate what my friend Doug Moore was saying. You got to pay these folks a living wage. You got to make sure that they are cared for. Make sure that when they're caring for others, they can care for themselves and their family members. That's really important. And we're having a whole conversation about what it is to be working in this country right now. And folks really having to make some real assessments about what they're going to do and how far they're going to put themselves out there. One of the ways that you address that is making sure you pay people accordingly. And so the city of San Diego will stand in solidarity with our caregivers. We will celebrate this month with the gusto that it deserves, and we'll extend our appreciation to all of these folks who are, again, making this city a better place to live. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you for covering this important month.